This is the Transforming Anxiety podcast with Kelly Hanlon McCormick, and today is episode number 230, Naming the Things. Welcome to Transforming Anxiety. I'm your host, Kelly McCormick. I'm a mom to 2 boys, a wife, friend, daughter, and sister, and I'm a certified life coach, yoga teacher, and soon-to-be mindfulness meditation teacher. I'm no stranger to anxiety, and I'm here to teach you how to manage your mind and your emotions so that you too can transform anxiety into calm, peace, and whatever you want for your life. I'm so glad you're here. Hey there. Welcome in today. How are we doing? How are we doing today, this week? September is here. Fall is coming, at least according to the calendar, right? And with the changing seasons, I have some new things on the horizon. So, first of all, we're back to author interviews after a little break over the summer. So I have a handful of really great authors lined up for the coming months, and I cannot wait to bring you some of these just really interesting and really helpful conversations about anxiety, about polyvagal theory, self-development, awareness, just some really great conversations with some great people. So look for that actually starting next week. Also, I'm going to be offering another mindfulness course this fall. We haven't done one for a while. I'm going to have some more information about that in the next few weeks. So be sure you're on the email list and you don't miss out if you're interested in practicing with these tools and skills instead of, just talking about it here with me. So get on the email list. That's over on my website, kellyhanlonmccormick.com. That's also in the show notes. So, how about the intention for this episode? What are we up to today? Well, we're talking about naming the things today, meaning just simply naming what's up. Saying to ourselves, maybe saying to those around us, here's what, right? This is happening. I'm feeling this way. I'm sensing this. That's all. Super simple, right? But my intention with this conversation, with this practice, is that we have a tool to use so that we can find the ground. Sometimes when things just feel really difficult or overwhelming or anxiety-inducing, and you just feel wildly out of control. It's like you're in free fall and you're on fire and your nervous system is just completely out of whack. Right? And this conversation, this tool, this practice, this is a way to get your feet on the ground, to put out the flames and to bring your nervous system back to a regulated state. That's what I want to offer today. That's my intention for today. This is one way in. It's a simple practice and it's a tool to get back to ground. So today, right, we're talking about naming the things. And again, this is so simple, but this one can really change things if you're struggling with something, or if something yucky is coming up in a relationship, or if you're bumping up against something at work, if you're just feeling stuck or confused about, pretty much anything. Doing this helps to diffuse the overwhelm or the confusion. And I'm telling you, this provides almost immediate relief. It's so simple, it's kind of dumb, right? Because this I'm talking about, again, it's just naming what's going on. I feel angry. I don't like this. I am tired. I need to take a break. I don't feel free. These are all really simple ways of naming what's happening. Here's what I'm feeling. Here's what I'm noticing. Here's where I'm at. Here's what I do or don't want. Name it. Say it. Sometimes it's helpful to to say this just to yourself. You can say this just kind of in your mind silently. Sometimes it's helpful to say it out loud to yourself or to share it with somebody that you're with. You don't need validation. That's not why we're talking with somebody about it. It's because you're not looking to make a case. That's not what we're doing here when we name it. You're just naming it. You're not arguing for how right you are or trying to convince anybody that your story or your viewpoint is correct. So I say that because just saying this silently in your own mind, that's going to work just fine here. Naming the things, this is a way to drop into reality, to drop into the moment, to recognize and notice and acknowledge how you're feeling and what's going on for you. We are very conditioned to just power through, right? To keep on keeping on no matter what. We can ignore illnesses. We can ignore injuries. We definitely like to avoid feelings. We push back against things like feeling tired if we want or think we need to keep going, right? We ignore signs that we have low blood sugar or are dehydrated, or signals that our nervous systems are overregulated or super activated. This is also a way to help you get out of the story in your head about what's happening. So sometimes we get a little lost in the corners of our mind going over and over and over the narrative that we have playing about the reality that we're experiencing. If we can name the thing, if we can just notice and say what's happening, then we get a reprieve from the ticker tape of the commentary of our minds, and we can just be with it for a second. Like, oh, this is what's happening. I feel anxious. I want something else. I am hungry. I need to take a breath. Okay. That's a different thing than telling a story about the anxiety that you're feeling and spinning out around it. Or getting caught up in your personal preferences about how something at work or home is going and totally losing the present moment because you're lost in your mind. Naming the thing can ground you in the here and now. This is what's happening. This is what I'm feeling. This is what I'm noticing. This is what I'm sensing. Those are the elements you're looking for when you name the thing, okay? What's happening? This is the first one. This isn't about what you're thinking. This is about what's actually, factually happening. Like, two people are having a conversation. It is raining. It's Tuesday, and the project is due on Friday. Very simple, true statements, not opinions. These are facts. So that's one way. What's happening? The second way, what are you feeling emotionally? So these are feeling words like happy, sad, angry, anxious, excited, curious, right? The third element is what are you feeling like as a sensation? So these are body-based words like hungry, thirsty, hot, cold, tired, sore, ill, pain. All right? And then the last one is what are you sensing? So use all 5 of your senses here. What can you see, smell, taste, hear, touch? So again, what's happening factually? Okay? What are you feeling emotionally? What are you feeling as a sensation? And what are you sensing with your 5 senses? Answer any one or all 4 of these questions, and you will get to a place where you can name the thing. This is what's happening. This is how I'm feeling emotionally. This is a sensation I can find in my body. This is something I'm sensing. So I want you to notice here as we're talking about this, that when you try this out, nowhere in here do I recommend that you see what your mind thinks about it. Okay? That's important. That's key. That's on purpose because we're not looking for the mind to chime in during this experience. In fact, we're looking for anything but the mind. Emotions, yes. What's going on in your body? Yes. What are the facts of the situation? Yes. Your thoughts about all of that stuff, which you're inundated with all day, every day, your mind, it just pours thoughts nonstop. And that is not what we're looking for. Name the thing and notice that it's not a thinking thing. Okay? Okay, so what does naming the things require? All this takes is awareness. That's all. Well, I guess I should say that's simple. That's all, right? But that's not always easy. That's all, right? All it requires is awareness. But that also means we need to turn the volume down on our opinions and our judgments and our preferences and our wants and our ideas and just pay attention. We get mindful in these moments, meaning we pay attention with curiosity and without judgment. We observe, we witness. What's happening? What am I feeling, both emotionally and as a sensation? What do I detect with my 5 senses? None of this is a matter of what you want or what you'd prefer. Those are other practices. Those are valid, okay? I'm not dismissing that. That's just not what we're doing here. This practice, this tool, this is a matter of what is. Which again, this is simple, but this is not always easy. Not at all. So what does naming the things do for us? Well, try this one out for yourself, but I think there's a lot of relief in naming the things and simply dropping into the reality and the recognition of what is. Like the more we practice this, the more we realize that a lot of what we're doing in our minds is arguing with reality. We're pushing against the flow of life and the reality that's unfolding around us. Here's what's happening. Here's how I'm feeling. Here's what I'm noticing as a sensation in my body. Here's what I can detect with my senses. That's it. Byron Katie says this. She says, we only do 3 things in life. We sit, we stand, we lie horizontal. The rest is just a story. We're expanding on that a little bit here, right? By bringing in emotions, sensations, sensory experiences, and noticing our surroundings. But this is true nonetheless, right? We sit, we stand, we lie horizontal. The rest is just a story. And that story is where most of us spend most of our time. Tricky things happen in those storylines, painful things, controlling things, stressful things. Sit, stand, lie down. Name the things. All right, so obviously there's a few tricky things about this, right? We just talked through some of that, but there's some good news too. You ready? You don't have to change anything. All you have to do is name the things. Really, you don't have to do anything. Simply naming what's happening is often enough to shift things a bit. It wiggles things loose a bit. It opens you up and brings some relief. We fall into the trap of believing that we have to fix things, that we have to solve things. And I'm here to tell you, the awareness of this, simply naming the things, it's enough. It grounds you. It tethers you to reality. It makes it so that you can see what's what, instead of buying all the stories in your mind and getting lost in the unreality of your thoughts. And getting out of that spin and that churn is powerful. Naming the things. This is a practice in mindfulness. This is a practice in awareness, in dropping the story and letting go of thoughts and preferences and judgments. And when you practice this over and over again, you start to really feel the benefit of living closer to reality. You can see how the stories yank you around. You see it's just not useful to chase those stories around, those ideas your mind is offering up. Reality is not those stories. We fall for it, we believe that, but it's not true. Reality and the stories in our minds, these are different, separate things. And naming the things helps bring us closer to the reality. And it helps us to get perspective on the stories. All right, so the 4 things you can do, rather the 4 elements that you're looking to when you go to name the thing. What's happening? How are you feeling emotionally? How are you feeling as a sensation in your body? And what can you sense with your 5 senses? Again, notice that none of this is thinking based. It's only fact, feeling, and body based. We get enough from the mind. We hear plenty from our thinking selves. This is about the facts of the situation, your emotions, and your body, both the sensations and your senses, right? Name the things. You'll tell the story by default. I promise you don't have to look hard to find that. So encourage yourself to get below the story and name the real thing. Get to reality. Be with what is and operate from there. It's wildly empowering to operate from that space, from an embodied, feeling aware, and reality grounded space. So try it out. Let me know how this goes. All right? Okay, I will be back next week with a really great interview for you. And there is more transforming anxiety on the way this fall into the end of 2023 and winter. We're going to welcome in 2024. I'm here with you. We're doing this together. All right, have a beautiful rest of the week. I will see you again at the same time, same place next week. And until then, please take care. Do you have someone to help you with your stress, anxiety, worry, and overwhelm? If not, I would love to be your coach. The Fierce Calm Project is my virtual coaching program where we get to go in on topics like this one, and I can help you apply these lessons to your life so that you're creating your own transformation. We do live coaching calls, guided meditations, on-demand yoga classes. We hold book club where we read books your neighborhood book club won't, and there's lots of bonus content that I've created just for you. When you're ready to take what you're learning on the podcast to a whole other level, then come on over and check out the Fierce Calm Project at kellyhanlonmccormick.com/Fierce Calm Project.